So I was watching Spencer Pratt on Joe Rogan yesterday, and he's the guy who is running for mayor of LA. Wants to fix all the problems with all these zombie addicts, homeless, and everything, and deal with all the corruption and stuff, which I applaud. But I think that tragically, Spencer Pratt isn't. He thinks he can get support from the federal government, from the CDC, and all these federal agencies to clean up all these problems. What he fails to recognize is that all these problems were created. All of this is intentional. All this, what we deem as mental illness, all this addiction, all this homelessness, all this financial despair, all this excessive taxation, all this corruption. This has all been orchestrated by the government, by the federal government, and the elite. These are all top-down problems, and I do appreciate the man's passion and recognizing that there are existential issues here, but you can't go to the people who created the problems to solve the problems. And his faith in doing forced treatment and stuff. Well, I wish people understood that behavioral health services for mental illness and addiction are ineffective. They're shitty because they don't deal with the real issues. The substantial core issues are unresolved trauma and parasitic infections our medical establishment denies. That yeah, California is a shit show. But the demise of California, all these problems have been intentional, and it's not necessarily from the Democrat socialists. It's from the system. It's from the federal government, the CIA, CDC. It's just. Uh, I'm it's really difficult being awake in a world that's asleep. And what we need to do is identify the core issues and solve the core issues. And I'm all on board. Let's stomp out corruption. But you can't turn to our current medical establishment. You can't turn to our current mental health establishment. You can't turn to our current addiction services because they suck. Intentionally, they suck. The demise of the West Coast in California has all been intentional. It's all been orchestrated. My brother-in-law or former brother-in-law, is all part of this, and he left the Bay Area about 20 years ago, intentionally, because he knew the orchestrated destruction coming to California and the West Coast. And why specifically is the West Coast getting hit the hardest in the country? Well, he made an interesting observation that a lot of this land being bought up in the Palisades after the fires is being bought up by the Chinese through like New Zealand or something. It's almost as if the West Coast is being made the weakest, being primed for an attack, both internally and externally, by the Chinese and other groups. China is looking to destroy the United States and unseat us as a world player. And they're doing a very effective job, but they are not doing it alone. They are doing it in conjunction with the international banking cartel, spearheaded by the Rothschilds and Rothschild creations like Freemasonry, Illuminati, and Israel. So, Spencer, I really appreciate your passion and your fire. But if you When the broke, you can't go to the people who broke the system to fix the system because they broke it intentionally. The CDC isn't going to fix anything. The CDC is not an organization of integrity. It's an organization spreading disease and illness that denies the pathogenic causes of mental illness and chronic illness. So, I don't know, just a few random thoughts this morning. Stay blessed, stay true. Let's get to these core issues and properly solve them. And let's prevent complete chaos. God bless.